That will never not make me laugh. Welcome back. Love Boat Project, episode 45. I am Mike Robertson, joined as always by Mike Taylor. Mike, how many subscriptions to dog magazines do you think you have? And are they all gigantic magazines?
I have every subscription to dog magazine. Oh, yeah. I got a whole box of DIs, Dog Illustrated, Dog Monthly. Yeah. Sure. I'm all over.
Nothing. What about Doggy Style?
Nothing.
Doggy Style.
See, that's a different kind of magazine.
That's where they get their hair cut.
We will get into the periodicals on the boat this week, but it all pales in comparison to Scuttlebutt, the greatest magazine newspaper. And who was on that episode? That's right, he's back. Star of episode 16 from last season, our good friend, dog lover, cruise goer, parachuter?
Man about town?
No, not a parachuter. Not jumping out any planes.
We saw a lot of stuff this week, and yet we saw no stuff this week. This was, I would say, I mean, what are your initial thoughts on this fine episode of television that we watched this week?
Okay, I will say that I don't want to get my episodes mixed up because I did watch two. So
yeah, this episode was so good that the other two people on this show watched a different episode.
Yeah. So I am a huge fan of Debbie Allen. You know, she Philly roots. Still watch on Grey's Anatomy, as you guys know.
Yep.
And that might have been mine because every time she's in something, she has to dance. That's her thing, dances.
Oh yeah, no question.
She smokes dancing all the time, and to see a young Debbie Allen was just fantastic. Because I don't know how many times I've seen that, like a young Debbie Allen like that, slim.
Is she Felicia Rashad's sister? Are they sisters?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really one of the bright spots. It's funny. 2/3 of the storyline's acting was perfectly fine. The characters were fine. Debbie Allen was really good.
Well,
can't forget about the plot twist at the end. Love it.
No.
Oh, I got just underlined. We got to talk about this. But anyway, we're getting way off track. Let's get organized here. We are here tonight to talk about season 2, episode 20 or 22, depending on if you count two-parters as 2 episodes. Original air date was February 24th, 1979. The titles: Love Me, Love My Dog, Poor Little Rich Girl. And this one was kind of a lame title, I thought. The Decision, which is the Debbie Allen storyline.
But it wasn't even a decision. She
didn't really give Isaac much of a chance.
Was she left? There was no. She made the decision.
Unanimous decision.
It's just a.
Do you think the joke? Do you think the joke might have made him lose her?
We will get into it. We will get into it, but I will say
they alluded to it so many times watching it the second time. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
geez.
well, that's why. And so, I mean, I'll be curious because you just watched it the one time when we get into it. The difference between the first time I watched it, then seeing the ending, and then it was like watching Sixth Sense again. It was just like it felt completely different.
Like you had the cheat code, so the whole thing was even weirder.
Yeah.
You know, he's skydiving and he, leave him on the boat.
Right.
Can we leave him on the boat? Like, what?
Yeah. The synopsis of this thing, Suzanne doesn't know if her boyfriend Alan loves her or her money. Let's see. Alicia, or Mason falls for Alicia, but her terrier doesn't like him. And Isaac falls for Selena, who is engaged to someone else. So pretty broad strokes there.
No
for the synopsis.
They don't want to give away all this, they don't want to give away the gold.
All the juicy details.
That's right.
There were definitely
We'll
some
get there
spoilers.
somehow. Oof.
There was some shock. I was flummoxed at the end of this episode. I will say that. So
I felt
I
like it was a
almost wanted to
complete
rewatch it. If I didn't have
Yeah,
to go get an MRI, I was going to rewatch it immediately.
the
Once I saw that.
rewatch is a lot different. I'll say that. So,
yeah, the rewatch is way different, and then but it's still it's so light. Like there's
Yeah.
no
Mhm.
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
it was-
I will say this. This is the rare time where the rewatch probably put it up a couple points for me
yeah, I agree.
because I could appreciate what they were trying to do. The first viewing, I didn't see it at all. So
Mm.
No, I didn't.
we will
either.
explain all of this as we go. But what else was on Saturday, February 24th, 1979? Much like this episode, not a great slate this
It's
week.
like post Valentine's Day. There's dead of winter. There's
You say it's post. You say it's post Valentine's, but what about an episode of Chips titled "Quarantine"? Police headquarters is quarantined after John and Ponch bring in a young hitchhiker who succumbs to a rare disease.
And they're all stuck in the station with this guy?
I guess.
Is that what we're led to believe?
Guest starring Tom Poston, Mickey O'Day himself.
Oh.
9 o'clock.
Was he the teenager? Was he the teenager with the
I
terrible
really
disease?
hope he was. 9 o'clock, BJ and the Bear.
Was there a
Titled
real episode this time? Did they mention
It is a real
the
episode this time,
chimpanzee?
not preempted. Titled Shine On. This is interesting. BJ is kidnapped by 3 women, forced into hard labor making moonshine. And this is so the women can pay their father's hospital bills. So,
How did they know he knew how to make moonshine? What is he like? Quickly, I need fuel, a container, some copper, something like what? It's not a quick
setup, right?
get rich. Yeah, like it's not a something. We'll just wrap this up in a television hour. Like this,
It's an
it just would
operation.
never work.
it's all pretty a damning statement on 1979 health insurance, though. If you got to pay for it with kidnapping and moonshine, so
I mean, but aren't there enough truck driving type subject? Isn't there enough subject matter just in the trucking world, or maybe there's some crossover in the Shine world? I don't know.
Maybe you'll find some driving excellence on CBS. 9 to 11, Silent Victory, the Kitty O'Neill story.
Who?
Pack a Lunch. Based on the true story of the life of Kitty O'Neill, a young girl who overcomes her deafness to become one of the top stunt women in Hollywood and the holder of the land speed record for drivers. Sorry,
And this
driving
guy
a
a documentary?
driving a rocket-powered car. It sounds like.
Okay, that's why it's the land speed record. Yeah.
How about
And
that?
they got a documentary?
That's a real life TV movie starring Stockard Channing from Greece.
Well, they thought at first she just had like a really strong work ethic because they'd say cut and she would just keep going. She's like, damn, we need to make a movie about Kitty because she just is the hardest worker. And they didn't know till they were about to start filming. And she was like, no, I can't hear. Single tear.
So
yeah.
Kind of thin this week, but yeah, probably check out the Kitty O'Neill story.
Was there any sports on that day? Did you look that up?
I actually didn't pull any sports. This would have been a good week to pull sports. I did see that there was some college basketball during the day, but this is kind of like we're past Super Bowl, kind of dead time. Yeah. Who's in this thing? Debbie Allen. We kind of talked about her already as Selena Moore. This is her first episode. She will be back in season 6.
Who was Selena Moore?
What?
Which character was she in this episode?
She was Selena Moore as Debbie Allen.
Okay.
They did not.
Yes, got you.
Yeah. They didn't give her name a lot, especially in the first half, because I kept writing Debbie Allen, and I was like, are they ever going to give her name at any point? So,
yeah.
And plus, she's Debbie Allen, really.
She's Debbie Allen. Yeah.
Fame, like Ameen said, big-time TV producer with Grey's Anatomy, Also, she was big involved in Different World, which I didn't realize.
Yes,
I don't think initially.
Yes. That's
And
coming back.
I remember she was on a Cosby Show a bunch, and
she's great.
Yeah.
She's just great. It was nice to see her. It was nice to see her in a good spot. Dennis Cole as Alan Harmon.
You mean Dennis Kingsley, Mike?
Yeah, Dennis Cole's back. He was in our second ever episode as Jacqueline Smith's would-be spy. He has the very famous line in our show's history where he shows Jacqueline Smith the picture of his dead wife and says, "We were very close."
It was out of his wallet too. It wasn't even like a proper photo. It was like
a wallet size.
Yeah, I will say this: he wasn't great in that first episode, but he was a hell of a lot better in that episode than he was in this episode.
It's just confusing.
So they have repeat actors and actresses. Do they come back as the same person?
No,
not officially yet, but we have some on deck.
Yeah,
they are starting to do that, but we haven't had it yet. So.
I did have a bit of a fun fact about Dennis Cole and the Love Boat. So he is on the boat a total of 3 times. This is the only time on the Love Boat where he's not using the first name Dennis as his character's name.
Which to me is always an indication that you are a terrible actor.
Yeah.
They have to use your real name.
They got to use your real name.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 out of 3 times. Yeah, it's a problem.
Well, Billy Bob Thornton is Billy in Landman.
Well, he's a good actor, but he's not Billy Bob.
Yeah, he's no Billy Bob.
Yeah. So Dennis Cole's final Love Boat appearance, I did look ahead. It's in season 4. It's in the season 4 opener, actually, which thank God is not a 2-parter. But there's also a storyline in that one where Gopher pretends to be Julie's love interest to fend off Gopher's fraternity brother, who's apparently a lech. And that lech is played by?
Wait. Don't know. Who's the one who always ruins shows? Jefferson Darcy.
No, it's not him.
Ted McGinley?
No, not Ted McGinley, no. That'd be that Tom Hanks.
Really?
Uh-huh. So looking forward to that.
Hanks makes an appearance on the Love Boat?
Wow.
So we'll see you in
after
late...
Bosom Buddies is on, too. That's already on TV.
Yeah, we'll see you in late May of 2027? 6? 7.
Oh, wow.
6.
For that episode.
It'll be a while.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
No.
It's not that far off.
Fanny Flagg is Elisa Finch. This is first of her 3 episodes. She's back for 6 and 9 seasons. She's another supporting actress in Grease. We've had a lot of supporting actresses and actors from Grease. We have not had any actual pink ladies or whatever the Grease guys were, but
are they Thundercats? Is that what it was?
Oh,
Thundercats? No? I think it was the T-Birds, if I'm not mistaken. The T-Birds. I like Thundercats.
I am going to ask you both to ask Fanny Flagg's to guess Fanny Flagg's age, and I'm going to tell you right now
on the show or today.
In how old was she at the time of the recording of the show per IMDb?
Now keep in mind she's from the state of Alabama, so take that into consideration with the aging.
Hold on, wait.
We have a listener.
Which one was she?
I don't mean that.
She's the one with the dog.
Yeah, she went with the dog.
With the Princess Diana haircut. Yeah, she was giving me like young Hillary Clinton.
See, first of all, you got to think about
40.
He's 40. Okay. You got to think about Gene Rayburn too, because
Gene Rayburn
make him look younger.
So Gene Rayburn was, for context, Gene Rayburn was born in 1917, I think, or 1919. So he's very old. Mike, you got a guess on Fanny Flagg?
Yeah, I would say. I'm just going to say 35 for argument's sake.
So she's 34 according to IMDb.
Nice.
That is stunning to me. And I actually looked a couple different places to see it was not that she looked
old.
With
the age, man. They try to like bridge that gap.
I think it was the character she played made her seem old.
Yes, very much
spinster with the dog and the bag and the
right.
Marzin Jensen plays Susanna Wells. I feel like I heard them say it both times, and frankly, I dislike the storyline so much I didn't look it up. She was in Battlestar Galactica.
She sure was.
First season. Oh, were you a fan?
She's the rich girl? Was she the rich girl?
She was the rich girl. Lieutenant Althea.
Something. Yeah. I was a Battlestar Galactica kid. So
gotcha. So here's interesting. She did not appear in anything acting-wise after 1981.
Yeah, because she watched this. She saw a repeat of this and she went, "Oh, let me try to find somebody on the old Galactica to bring me." Oh, it's canceled now. Now what?
She was also the longtime love interest of musician Don Henley.
She is stunning. Let's just say. I mean, she is stunning.
Yes, she is
stunning. Like especially for the time. Like
she was the second highlight of the show.
Like Barbie Benton, like that kind of like just striking. You know,
Barbie Benton is 10 times better looking than she is, and better actor too.
Susanna Wells is no Barbie Benton by any means.
He said like Barbie Benton.
I did say
that whole storyline was so bad. I don't even know that I really thought of her as how she looked. It was just bad from jump.
They should have Kernsed her. I wouldn't even mention her. If I was going to do a repeat, I would take her out of the portal.
I think Captain was the best part of that storyline.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that plan. The best looking person in this episode was Fiesta Night Julie McCoy, but we'll get there. Gene Rayburn is Mason Randolph. This is first of 3 appearances for him. He'll be back next season and also in season 5. Mike, he is another game show host. One of the bazillion game show hosts that we've had this season. He was best known for the Match Game.
I have some bad news about Gene Rayburn.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you read this. He's maybe the worst actor I've ever seen in my life. He delivers his lines like a robot, right? As several examples. Do you have dinner plans? Yes. May I call for you at 7? He sounds like a speak and spell. That's what he sounds like. This whole
thing. He's not an actor.
He is an actor. He is an actor. I looked him up. He started out as an actor, this guy. That was terrible. He's trying to, I'm sorry if anybody in the Rayburn, if I'm offending anybody, but he's talking over these giant fake teeth. He can't act a lick. It was infuriating. It wasn't a lack of effort like our old friend Norman. This is just, I have no acting skills at all.
Yeah, he didn't have any skills. And they gave him a lot. They gave him a lot to do, too.
Speaking.
So much.
It was only right to get cockblocked by the dog.
If I never
taking a hair off of your jacket.
Like, if I never see Gene Rayburn make out again, that won't be too soon.
He was moaning.
Yeah, I had that tough complaint about the whole
dude was
episode.
So horned up.
Oh,
the kissing scene in this episode was horrible.
I did have a thought about him. I was like, wow, he would be the worst if they had cast him as Batman instead of Adam West. Like how bad Batman would have been, and I went to the whole
Batman with his high-waisted pants,
high-waisted, giant fake teeth. Put down the knife, Joker.
Speaking of the dog, we have our first animal in the portals. Cricket the dog.
Cricket the dog.
Cricket. This is the only credit that Cricket ever got. Cricket never worked again, so I don't know. I don't know if that big dog ate her at the end or what.
Yeah, that dog ate, or you run over by a taxi moments after.
Moments after filming.
It was the City of Angels ending for poor Cricket.
We were very excited. We didn't get a bark in the credits, and they clearly freeze framed the dog.
They wanted it.
Yeah, but the dog turns its head, so we got what we wanted. But
the dog was like, Munster cheese. I like Munster cheese, not Swiss cheese.
Not Swiss cheese.
I'm not barking for Swiss.
Clearly says it in my rider. But yeah, it's a very short cast this week. We have some extra people that pop in, but that's the main cast. So, any notes before we get on the boat?
Oh, yeah. Was Noah Keane listed?
Is he the psychiatrist?
He was psychiatrist, was the name of his character.
Yeah.
Was that the only scene he had, was that one at the bar?
Yes.
No, he had a second. He had a second scene. Yeah. When the other person comes over, they're sitting in a chair. I forget who comes over to him.
Oh, like on the deck chair?
Talking about.
Yes, somebody else on the boat came over there and sat with him because that was his love interest. Who was it? I can't think about it.
Because I'm wondering if it was a Kernsing to not.
He was. We'll talk about him. He was pretty good for a very small and unnecessary role. But
he was better than Gene Rayburn.
You're right. He probably should have been Gene Rayburn. But why do you think they have game show hosts? Do you think it's because they're available?
That was that time of the TV. It was all game show hosts. It was famous people.
I think it's just that face thing.
Like was he worse than Monty Hall?
Oh, yeah. Monty Hall was Monty Hall, but at least there was... After you think about that, I think there was just FaceTime to get their faces out there. Because the marketing back then, it was a TV guide. It was just get their face on TV. You know, get people thinking about the match game. Because, they watch this and go, boy, that Rayburn's one hell of an actor. When else can I see him?
Man, I wouldn't mind if he would smooch me like he was trying to pull the tonsils out of my mouth.
You hear the patented Rayburn moans.
Watching Frankenstein in a tuxedo.
Terrible.
All right, let's get on the boat. We will save the funeral of Al Jolson and Art Barr for later.
Oh, man.
Ben Jolson, not Art, not Al Jolson.
Either one, anyone.
All right, let's get on. A lady is boarding the ship, and sounds like she's got some company. She got some carry-on here. There's a dog in her purse. Dogs aren't allowed on the boat. Conflict likely to ensue.
I like how the dog is stuffed into like a leather purse in California. With no windows, no air. It's not designed for dogs. No wonder the dog's barking. The dog's saying air. I need some air. Good. Poor dog. Poor cricket.
Do you think anybody would have heard a dog barking on outside? You're on the ocean. You're trying to get to your cabin. I know she was on high alert, but I don't know that she was in danger here of getting busted, that she had to do these comical yelps to drown out the barking.
I think it was one of those things like you would hear it, but when you wouldn't, it made me think dog because you're in the ship.
Unless you're walking on, what was that? Unless she's walking down like Canoe Lane, with all the sounds of everything going on, you're right, taxis and cars and people greeting and saying goodbye and ship noises.
And that horn.
And apparently she just walked right on the ship with the dog. There's not even a pat down. There's just no open your bag.
There's definitely not a pat down. I mean, we've seen people come in with guns.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever take an animal onto the boat?
Yeah. Did you ever sneak a Yorkshire Terrier?
Other than myself, no.
They shouldn't let you on either. So.
I was the only animal I brought on the boat.
Nice.
Gopher and Doc are having some sort of lady passenger draft, I guess. And so,
two for me, one for you. Yeah.
Isaac doesn't seem as interested. Turns out he's on one this week. He has come to the realization that every time you love these women on the boat, and then they leave at the end of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. I just remembered who he was in that second scene with. The girl who ordered the green drink from the bar when
creme de menthe.
When Isaac was dancing with Debbie Allen. That girl, the girl who ordered that drink, that's Julie. That's who he was in that second scene with in the chairs. It was a random scene. She just went over there and sat with him. I'm like, I knew there was another girl in this episode that wasn't like really with anybody.
Yeah,
it was her.
He got some camera time.
Well, good. I'm glad he got a second. A second.
Good for you, Noah Keane.
We'll get more fleshing of this later, but basically, Isaac's just not interested this week. He's not having it. Not even Debbie Allen, as she kind of zips through the lobby, can change his mind. Doc doesn't have problems like Isaac does because he's the heartbreaker, not the heartbreaky.
Adam Breaker. Am I right?
Yeah.
I guess that's true. We've never really seen him. I guess Loretta Swit a little bit this season. Broke Doc's heart. But
yeah, usually, but then he's just, next episode.
He's on to the next one.
Yeah, he's he's fine.
He's fine.
He's a Rolling Stone.
Suzanne Wells boards the ship. Is greeted by Julie, who is very impressed by her fur coat. Can't believe Pete did it and hit her on the way up the ramp.
Yeah, why do you have a paint smear on the back of your coat?
She's the last person to successfully wear a mink coat in public.
There was a fur coat place in New York, and they were doing that to people. And I remember watching
paint on them.
Yeah, I remember watching what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. My buddy was like, "Hold on, just wait 1 second," and we saw somebody come out, and they threw a whole. It was weird. It was a weird scene. I felt really bad for the person walking out. I obviously feel bad for whatever, animals out there naked. It doesn't have a coat anymore, but it was weird. I think it's weird to see people with fur coats on too. That's kind of weird. I guess maybe in the 70s it wasn't.
Seems like an overwhelming
70s, right?
coat.
Yes.
For a cruise ship?
Just anything.
Maybe if you're going to Alaska, maybe.
That's a good point.
They were going to Mexico, right?
Yeah, they're going to Mexico.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's a good point.
She's trying to dress like Chris Long at the Super Bowl party. It makes no sense.
It feels like they were trying to do all the things that indicate that she's nouveau rich, though, right?
She had like a giant ring on, or a bracelet, or something.
$8,000 earrings.
Right.
Yeah, something like.
Turns out that she is still getting used to being wealthy. Old Susanna was just a waitress, but then her uncle died and left her a fortune.
Wonder how
which
much
is just something that never happens outside of television. So,
give your niece the money.
Yeah, I'd be pissed if there was family closer to him.
A sister, brother, kids.
Like $100,000, $200,000. Dollar went a lot further back then.
I know, but if the earrings are $8,000. The cruise probably ran around $1,000.
No, the cruise is expensive this week because you have the rich lady. You have.
Did we ever see? We never saw her cabin though, right? Did she have the schmancy?
Did we see anybody's cabin this week?
She was on a different floor than
just the dog.
Than the dog lady,
right?
Because when they walked to her cabin after she forgave dude, her door and her hallway looked a lot different than this.
Yeah, that's true. I think the cruise was expensive this week. So
fair enough.
Where does it leave out of? Do you know where
LA.
Allegedly.
LA.
Yeah.
So LA to Mexico.
Yeah. I think we looked it up. It's like Mazatlan. That was the only shout out this week. Yeah. Oh, you know why else it was expensive? It's because Gene Rayburn's got a houseman.
I know.
So he's very wealthy as well.
When he said that, until the end of the episode, I thought he said a husband.
Oh, I put on the closed caption.
It is very hard to. Yeah,
I was like, did he say husband? I'm like, what's going on here?
And then the dude shows up.
I didn't know where they were plugging him in at night on the cruise ship. Is it okay if I power down? No.
We never saw his cabin though.
No, he tried.
You need one. Yeah,
he tried to get her back.
Why don't you come back to my house? Ugh. Fanny flag.
Suzanne really talks a lot about money, which is a good indication that you are new with money, but she's learning. She's just a kid.
Wouldn't it be the opposite, do you think?
What do you mean?
Like somebody who's new to a bunch of money, they probably wouldn't talk about it because it's like it's so much bigger.
I don't know that she was
but I don't
like
know.
the sharpest waitress in the diner, you know. So.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you her and Dennis Cole are just both dumb as a box of rocks.
Oh, yeah,
she was definitely
a
Wednesday night waitress. She was definitely a Tuesday, Wednesday night waitress. She was right on
she's
Friday,
not getting the weekend.
Oh,
she's
no.
getting weekend brunch.
She wasn't Friday, Saturday.
She's a hostess on the weekends because that's just.
Yeah, we have an open table over here.
Yeah. You're getting a lot of those like knitting circles heading out. So,
well, it's funny because I don't think this storyline particularly works, but I think the only way it could possibly work is to have two characters who are just as equally clueless.
Yeah,
you know,
they probably should have been more dumb.
Yeah. I could go. Well, I mean, she was. She
they
say
that. You know? They say that for the next episode. Ooh, they went dumb.
Yeah, they did.
I don't want to see that
because you both already watched next week already.
Totally dumb.
It's the dumbest thing.
Steubing is greeted in the lobby by Alan Harmon. Steubing has no idea who this guy is, and he tries to pretend that he does. Before we find out that Alan is Steubing's mechanic.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
Or it's the power of suggestion. You know, Steubing has no idea. I'm your mechanic. Oh yeah. Oh,
we have
for what car? He's married to the sea. His car is a ship.
That car he almost ran over that kid with a couple weeks ago.
That's it.
Wow.
He put a big cow catcher on the front of it.
We have met 0 of Gopher's relatives, but we have met 2 mechanics of people on the boat. So this guy is no Artie D'Angelo, though.
No.
No.
Not even in the same paragraph as that guy.
Steubing's kind of rambling on to Alan, but Alan looks over Steubing's shoulder and he sees Susanna, and it turns out these guys know each other. Alan spots her and says, "That's the woman I'm going to marry." Susanna, baby. I bet this is the last place you expected to see me. No, you're the last person I wanted to see, or some bullshit like that.
Zinger. That was a zinger.
Yeah.
That was a zinger.
Take that, dummy.
Bazinga after that.
Awful. Just awful delivery. Maybe that stuff flies in space, but it's not here.
Yeah, keep that on the Galactica. All right, you better come with a little bit stronger down here.
All right, we're back in the check-in line. Here's Mason Randolph. I'm going to keep calling him Mason Rudolph, so I probably should just call him Gene Rayburn. But he's checking in, but he's a gentleman, and he sees Alicia behind him, waves her to the front, and here we get another hilarious dog barking. Gopher hears it. He calls her on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gene Rayburn kind of says it, but she's like, nah. And she just kind of bum rushes the door.
Walks away.
Just keeps on walking. That poor dog stuck in that hot ass leather bag.
0 security on this boat.
None.
I thought the dog had to poop the whole episode, actually.
Well, that's another thing, too, I was going to talk about. It's just like, you can't keep a dog. I mean, like, she couldn't take. Yeah. Yeah. I thought about that. Yeah.
Plus, well, maybe that's why she likes all that cheese. Bind him up.
Yeah, make that dog wait for 3 days.
We get a horn, and we get about 25 seconds of stock footage, which is a lot, but not the most. So
you know it's coming if it's that much stock footage.
It was a lot, because then we got like 20 seconds at the end too. So speaking of Alicia, she's back in her cabin, and she's brushing Cricket's hair, kind of like Ruth Buzzy did with that ventriloquist dummy a few weeks ago.
That's funny. That's very true. Talking to the dog, just like Ruth Buzzy was talking to that dog.
Yeah. The maid knocks on the door, which is incredibly early into the trip for the maid to be checking in, right?
The housekeeper, right? Like we just walked in here.
That's like right after you check into a hotel. Do you need anything?
Her
like what? I don't even know. Like, what do you?
Saw me shut the door.
I didn't even sit on the bed yet.
Right?
Yeah, why are you still here? Like what?
Like that poor Donald Flanders was trapped in his room for days with that dog. The other dog. They never checked on him.
And that, yeah.
Alicia, this is at least smart. Alicia's like, don't ever come back. I brought my own linens. I brought my own vacuum cleaner.
I got everything. and if the hallway smells like dog poop, it's not. It has nothing to do with me.
The funny thing is the maid's like, one less thing.
Yeah,
she's like, great. I don't care.
At least I never heard that before.
Yeah. Good for her.
Alicia Finch, she didn't even take out like a water bowl. Like there was no sort of, here, this. Then I put him in this.
I'll bring you back some more.
She put him in a damn dog bed on the floor. Like, where'd you get the dog bed? You got on the boat with, unless you put a dog bed in your suitcase.
Yeah, there's obviously luggage
ahead. It was a foldable.
I didn't think about that.
They don't check it. I mean,
you could put anything in there.
That part at least. The thing I couldn't understand is why is the dog not setting up shop in the bathroom?
That's what I was going to say that.
Just I was going to say that. Maybe because the echo.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, but you're also further away. I mean, we know these doors are paper thin.
And it's easier to clean up.
Right.
Yep.
But she wasn't exactly in a hurry. The only time she was in a hurry is when she wanted to show the robot the dog. Other than that, she was in no hurry to get back to her cabin.
Well, even when she wanted to do that, she skipped it and kept moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she was that concerned about getting caught. I think she figured exactly what would have happened. Like, she was like, if they catch me, what are they going to do? Shoot the dog, throw me overboard? Like, it'll be fine. Like,
That would be for a better episode.
She heads out to soak up some rays and leaves the dog behind. Poor Cricket.
Poor thirsty, hungry Cricket.
Constipated.
No kidding. Poor guy or girl. We're on
the Lido deck, and this is the aforementioned psychiatrist hanging out with Isaac, just bending his ear. Just two guys talking shop, talking about love.
Getting deep for an afternoon, like first drink at the bar, kind of.
Yeah.
Tell me about your entire philosophy on love. Like,
seriously.
Whoa, I just got here, man. The maid just knocked on my door. I just need a minute.
It's drink o'clock. The maid just
getting deep. Like, I'll be here for like 4 days. Slow down.
This guy is wearing sunglasses. A lot of sunglasses in this episode. So
finally. 79 was a big year.
Yep, 79. I think we finally invented sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
As Isaac is kind of waxing about his whole philosophy this week, including a list of women that he has hooked up with on this boat, and he does mention a PhD student and a rock star, and we have seen both of those. I mean, you were on for the PhD student.
Yes.
And the rock star, I love it. I love that they do that. Like, that's just kind of like links.
Thing.
I like that. I like that.
Yep. Yeah, the third name that they said was a TV star. We have not seen that yet, so maybe that's coming.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I didn't.
Well, the fact that he said that he hooked up with them already, we would think that it happened prior to this ship ride.
I would think so. But I hate that we didn't see all of them.
We've seen some order, the episode order issues where there's some inconsistencies.
Plus, the only TV star I think we've seen on this boat was that guy who hooked up with his own sister.
Oh wow!
Gary,
they were adopted. They didn't know.
They didn't know.
Oh wow!
I gained a brother and a what?
Yeah, that was weird.
That made the front page of Scuttlebutt.
Yeah,
that's when the Love Boat sailed the mighty Tennessee River. You know, the storylines changed.
Thing is, though, that wasn't even the weirdest part of that episode.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Not a good one.
They got kidnapped on an island.
That's right.
When I was going through the episode, I did see them outside in the woods.
Yeah.
It was a tree fell on Gopher.
Yeah.
A season premiere full of sand. Oh, yeah. It was, All
right. So while this conversation is going on, Debbie Allen shows up, bellies up to the bar, orders a big old glass of water. And Isaac kind of continues on about his his storyline this week, saying that at the end of every cruise, his romances go bye bye love, and then he sings it for like a while.
More time wasting there. It's interesting to see.
But that charmed Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
She asks if it's cool to hang out and stay. I hope she tips well. There's only like 3 stools at that bar. You're taking up one for water, but
I think that bar right there is for the pool area. So most of the people that are drinking are sitting at the pool.
So no concerns there about seating.
Raymond Burr would have been sitting at that bar. I guarantee it.
The psychiatrist thanks Isaac for his sage advice, and then he kind of
the line you saw coming from a mile away.
Yeah,
yeah.
The line you saw coming from a mile away.
The old thing they say about bartenders is true. And then turns out that the guy's a psychiatrist, which is funny. Ha ha ha. And with that, the psychiatrist leaves, Debbie Allen leaves, Isaac's just stand there. Everybody bails out at the exact same time.
Same thing happens every time. Poor Isaac standing alone. Poor Isaac.
Steubing is holding the door open for Suzanne, who proceeds to give him a $5 tip.
Okay, pause right there. Now, what is $5 back in '79? Like, what was the level of this tip?
It's a good tip. I'll tell you that. That's a real.
I'm quite sure it was a good tip. I'm just trying to see that.
I'd say about $7, maybe $7.
No, that's at least 10.
A $5 tip back in '79.
Yeah, that might be a $20 tip.
It wasn't $7. Definitely wasn't $7.
No, you think it's more than that?
Terrible tip, by the way, $7.
Yeah, right.
Doc, what do you say? He gets 50 cents normally. What's the going?
Yeah,
50 cents. So
that's 10%.
It's not bad though. It's not bad. Steubing's keeping that 5 too. So
definitely.
He put it in his pocket.
Well, you're going to trade it in for afternoon donuts. That's what he'll do.
Alan follows Suzanne out to the deck chairs and kind of tells her, "Hey, it's kind of tacky to tip the captain of a boat." But
tacky. It's pretty tacky.
Yeah. Google is $21.74.
See? Wow. There you go. That's a good tip. $21.74.
Just holding the door. Yeah, she was balling.
Well, that's what I wondered. Well, how much does Susanna Wells? Would she get like $700 from her uncle? And she's like, cha-ching. I have so many hundreds of dollars. I can live on this forever.
Because the earrings are $8,000. I keep going back to that. So it has to be more than 20 grand, 30, 40 grand.
Yeah.
100 grand, baby.
That's true.
Imagine
if all he left was the earrings. That's all she's got is the stupid earrings.
Turns out that because Suzanne and Alan start to have a conversation, it sounds like they were dating and he was not ready for marriage and he kind of broke it off with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now he wants to reconcile because she's rich.
She's a hundredaire. Yeah.
Poor Alan. Alan's really either not subtle or he's very dumb or it's some combination of the two, but he constantly is putting his foot in his mouth about money.
Well, that's the whole thing is it's like he's so dumb. It's like you don't know if he's that dumb or if he's just full of shit.
Or is he clever?
Hard to know. Yeah, like are you just clever and is this super quote unquote devious? Is that what's going on but you don't mean to? Yeah, it was a weird because she was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Where it was like, did she really mean this or is she just completely clueless?
Alan says he's grown and so has your bank account. And with that, Suzanne calls him simple and leaves. And I just have a note that I hate this storyline already.
Yeah, it was bad. It was done. You knew where it was going already. Like it was just, right.
How it was going to get there is what we didn't know.
Yeah, no.
And that's the
excitement. The excitement of getting there.
Fun.
Alicia, apparently having grabbed the sunglasses off of that psychiatrist, is now out on the deck, and she runs into Mason. And what's Mason doing? He is reading the latest edition of Dog World.
Nice. Nice.
Dog World, in case you haven't seen this week's episode or edition, is a plain white magazine cover with Dog World at the top of it. No pictures, no other things, and most importantly, nothing below Dog World, because Gene Rayburn holds on to the magazine like he's holding on to a basket of bread. Like he just like holds
He's hiding like nude pictures of border collies. That's what dogs. That's what it is. Like there's not even a picture or a drawing of the dog on it. He's just, and again, he's not reading it. He's processing the information. So he's a robot. I'm going back to the robot thing, but I'm not going to talk like a robot again because it's too much.
That storyline kind of interests me at first because I thought he was just running game on her. Like he really wasn't a dog guy, but he knew she was a dog lady. So that's what he was using to get in there, especially the fact that the dog hated him. So until the end, I didn't think he was a dog guy the whole time.
Oh, I love to pet dogs.
Yes.
So there's a question, I think Alicia asks it, do you have a dog? You asked that question of the guy with the gigantic dog magazine.
Yeah,
she might have thought he was running game like I did.
What kind of dog do you have? Oh, I see you're a dog person. Yeah, like, yeah, I don't. Yeah. Do you have a dog? It'd be funny if he was like, I am more of a cat person.
Yeah.
What?
Do you think you can get Dog World like when they used to give out subscriptions? Like they would go around to your door and like knock on the door. So
you can get that in like Toy Fair.
You can get Dog World out of Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get some kind of dog stories. They both are talking about their dogs. Mason insists that he can guess what kind of dog somebody has, and he guessed that Cricket is a Saint Bernard, which obviously she is not.
Oh, from the hair?
Yeah. And then we get some jokes about fleas, which leads Gopher an opportunity to scratch himself.
Which I didn't understand.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the hot, sexy part of that storyline yet. So,
by the way, I just want to make note. Gopher's has been very funny in this episode so far. I love coming off the episode we had last week where it was a lot with Gopher. I prefer my Gopher peppered in like this.
Yeah, a little bit of Gopher goes a long way.
A little goes a long way, as we've seen. I'm very happy with the ratio of Gopher that we're getting so far.
And this is where we got Mason asking about calling on Alicia for dinner, correct? Like that's
yeah. This is when he was asking her if she's free for dinner.
Do you have plans tonight?
Do you have dinner plans? May I call for you at 7? Up with that. Like just the weirdest.
Well, it is dinner time, and as we said, it's Mexican Fiesta night. It is back.
But I
Dust
will
off
say,
the cardboard sign at the doorway. We are having a fiesta night again.
A much smaller fiesta, I will note this time. The only they had the flags on the table. Mm-hmm. They had guacamole. Other than that, I didn't see anything. And they had the mannequin hunched over with the sombrero on, which was a little weird.
The first one had a mariachi band, didn't it?
Yeah, there was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Kind of lame. This time. No. You know who loves Mexican Fiesta night, though? Is Doc. He's like, it's got everything. It's the highlight of the trip. You can get margaritas, chicken amole. I'm not sure what that is. Fried bananas.
Yeah, awesome. It's funny because he didn't say plantain.
Plantains.
It's funny, like fried bananas. Be like,
yeah,
come on, nothing cultural. little more cultural awareness there, Mr. Bricker, Dr. Bricker. Sorry. Yeah.
As I said, this is peak Julie McCoy. She looks fantastic, and
she looks great.
And she's kind of talking to the chef, and she speaks Buenas noches. The chef did not get his SAG card because he just nods at Julie's hello.
He didn't understand that dude was as Caucasian as the pure driven snow. That guy was just He could have gotten his car just like Kay. Like he didn't know what the hell she was talking about.
Why is he setting up shop out? Like, shouldn't he be in the kitchen?
Like, I wouldn't imagine Fiesta Night would have like a carvery or any need for a chef to be out. Like, are you pouring molten cheese on my nachos? I don't know if that's a chef-worthy task.
Boilo out there? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe shredded chicken.
Shredded iceberg. A little sprinkle. I don't know what he's doing.
Suzanne comes into the dining room and she's looking for the captain's table. Guess who else is looking at the captain's table? A random mechanic.
Sort of lowers the bar. What is it? A sinking tide sinks all ships. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a low. I even think the table was lower because he was sitting there, like slightly lower.
This is our 4th week in a row, I think, with the captain's table. So this is the longest streak we've had in a very long time. But it is getting
popular dinner on a cruise.
Yeah. But they don't even show the people on this side of the table.
They just got their backs to the camera.
There's too much camera equipment.
A couple weeks ago, we had people on both sides of the table. There was a German guy and a dude with one arm. There was all sorts of stuff happening.
They had their sad cards. Those people didn't.
They certainly did. Suzanne is a little disappointed to see old Alan at the table, and this is where he notices her $8,000 diamond earrings. And she's like, "Do you want to see the receipt?" Which is pretty gauche, Suzanne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is where Alan says, "You had a lot more class when you were a waitress."
Nice. I'll tell you, for being dumb as a box of rocks, I thought that was a great line.
It was a good zinger.
Bam.
You know who's eating this up with a spoon is Stubing. He loves this messy bitch. He just loves.
He loves gossip.
I think that point is when he came up with his plan.
You know, when that boat stops off at Mazatlan, he tells somebody, he's like, "Go get me every copy of the Inquirer you can find." He reads Weekly World News, Star. He loves all the juicy gossip.
So, Mike, I went back multiple times and tried to determine what was in that glass. I think it was water, but it could have been white wine, but it also could have been red wine. It was hard because of but I am on it. See. I am watching what he drinks. A few weeks ago, he had a whole scene where he hasn't had a drink in 10 years, which we absolutely know is not true.
It's not true. Like recovering because he almost killed children with his car. And this is the mechanic.
The car.
He probably gave this guy cash. He's like, "Can you get the blood stains off my bumper?" And Alan's like, "Yeah, sure."
I'll get you a seat at the captain's table. You can change this rear wheel.
I'll arrange for Susanna Wells. I'll arrange for Susanna Wells to be on the boat too. This whole thing, #Devious, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, another big addition since you were on last, the Pirates Cove.
Saw that.
Where the bartender's dressed like, owls, apparently.
Debbie Allen rolls in.
It was pretty empty, too.
Yeah, it was very empty.
Nobody in a Pirates Cove.
Nope. Isaac's like, "Can I get another water?" And she's like, "Nope, scotch."
No, wait. She said something stronger. And he said, "Orange juice?"
Yeah.
And then she said,
"Yeah,
no scotch."
She's like, "I'll take scotch on the rocks." Hold the orange juice.
Yes.
So she is clearly flirting with Isaac, or at least like kicking the tires on him, right? But then Isaac's like, "Sorry, I have to go set up the Acapulco lounge. Your replacement guy will be here in 5 minutes."
Yeah, your relief bartender. She was like, "I said scotch on the rocks. Did you not like what?" I'm drinking a trash can full of scotch right now. Like, what do you think?
Somebody else can't set up the Acapulco lounge?
They could.
Or somebody else can't
work. Or somebody else can't work this one person bar?
Did you see what happened last time he left the bar unattended? They couldn't make any drinks.
That's true.
Stupid.
But that was a doctor trying to make drinks.
Yeah, the doc in the idiot ball.
So Debbie Allen is very upset that he's going to leave, and so Isaac's like, "Nah, I guess I'll hang around," which means there are just lines of people suffering from dehydration and sobriety in the Acapulco lounge.
Up
there.
Can't get anything to drink. Where's my pina colada?
So these two start chatting, and Isaac is starting to fall into the trap.
Here it is. Doesn't take much.
He's
still fighting it though. He's still fighting it, but he's
hanging on. But he's if he really
this is when he leaves the bar, when he goes to the Acapulco Lounge.
Eventually, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Mason and Alicia are talking about their respective dogs at dinner because, of course, they are. Mason's dog is named King, and this is where he brings up that he has a houseman. But he misses his dog.
He normally eats at 5 p.m. every day. I had a little sirloin steak.
I did think it was a good line. I did think it was a good line where he was like, "It's not fair. They let kids on the boat."
It's funny.
But not dogs.
Yeah. Alicia can sense that Mason misses his dog terribly. And so she's like, "Come on back to my room. I'll make you feel better." And somehow Mason takes this the wrong way.
He's like, "Oh."
He took it the way anybody would have took it, the way she was talking.
Yeah. I just want to make you feel better.
Yep.
Right.
He's like, things do move fast on the boat. So the reputation of the Love Boat, I think probably from Scuttlebutt, has gotten out there in this last year. So
mostly with the crew.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm somewhere, like when I go on a trip, right? Do I miss my dog? Absolutely.
No.
But if someone goes, "I know what you need," and goes, "Look, here's my dog," it's not like that's going to make me miss my dog any less. Like, I don't want to. I don't care. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's a contraband dog. Does that make any difference?
No, because then it just brings up more questions. Where's this dog pooping? Where are you feeding him? How's he sleeping? Where's the pee? Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this?
I will say, I have been out with you when someone else brought a dog and you basically knocked over all the wives to play with this dog.
Yeah.
Ignored the fact that this guy was up to...
That guy was up to no good.
No
dog
good.
Lover.
So
you can... my weakness as a dog, so it's just...
Yeah. Oh, there was a stretch, especially before you got a dog, where any dog walking down the street, Mike would just be jumping over cars to get to it. So,
it's like my daughter and my son.
We were walking somewhere, Mike and I would go, Shih Tzu, Beagle. Like, I'd name it all.
Calling out the dogs.
And Mike would go, "All right, are we going to do this the whole way, or are we going to..."
like walking up Broad Street. It's going to be like 40 dogs. Like,
mind you, Mike didn't see any of them.
Exactly.
They were
but the important thing is I also didn't care.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm good. It's out of my system. Yeah.
All right. We go to commercial with a horny Gene Rayburn, which is a sentence no one should ever say.
Yes.
Back in the Pirates Cove. And this is kind of where we get into it now with Isaac and Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
Turns out that Debbie is with a guy named Jimmy. Jimmy wants to get married next month, which, having planned a wedding, a month is quick, man. You're not going to get the good stuff in a month. Come on, Jimmy.
Or is she just saying he wants to get married in a month because they've been engaged this whole time and they're supposed to get married next month? Like, I wonder if she's sort of phrasing it like that. Because I thought what she was saying was
being purposely coy.
Yeah.
Jimmy is a good guy who, like, no complaints, she says. So Isaac doesn't understand what her problem is. What's the problem?
Apparently he wasn't a stand-up guy. But
yeah. What do you think, that you'll make a commitment and then he'll walk away? Debbie Allen kind of has a jump scare.
Yeah. Whoa.
So let's do this here because we won't be able to really.
That was the first clue.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're the best one to ask because you only watched it once. So, did you catch that as something before we got to what I will tell as the ending?
I caught it on the fall joke when they were saying, "Oh, he's okay, but he'll never walk again."
Yeah. So
and she ran out. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So the end of the episode, it turns out that Jimmy, who comes to pick Debbie Allen up at the end, is in a wheelchair. They don't really do much with it. He just is in a wheelchair by himself. And it's they don't really indicate what it is, but it seems like it's permanent. They're very happy. They are in love. The first time I watched it and I saw that ending, my brain was just like, "What? I didn't catch any of these things." But then you go back the second time and it's very obvious what they're doing, but I don't know if they did it. People aren't watching The Love Boat twice in 1979, right? So did they do a good enough job of highlighting it, or is it good that it's subtle?
So when I said when he fell and he said he was never walking and she ran out, that's when I got clued in on it. But thinking back now, it was that one. It was the one when after they danced, he was like, "Oh, he doesn't take you out dancing." She said, "Not anymore."
Yep.
And it's like it was those little ones. Like thinking back, you're like, "Oh, they were talking about the whole episode."
Well, and the big one, when we get to it, the parachuting thing, they used to skydive. And that almost made me think that that's what happened.
Yeah, I was kind of the same thing.
Got you.
Yeah.
But what I was mad about was that they kept calling it parachuting. That was not called parachute. Yes, exactly, Tom.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why do they keep saying parachuting?
Yeah. I think that the misstep here was that they should have shown him with her dropping her off at the ship, right? So that she knows, and then wink, wink, we know. So those comments that Isaac's making, not knowing, you would be keyed in without having to watch it twice. Because like you're saying, where they want you to go, they want you to go back after this, and they go, you know what? We're not even going to put anything on ABC for the next 20 minutes. But we want you to sit and think about that episode.
I think doing that. And then when you see him, I think if you watch the episode, like if you was a Love Boat watcher, you watched it, you would see that and then think back to all of those conversations. And
yeah.
Like, I see what they did.
It's pro wrestling,
I am not going to ding them because I appreciate, like, that is an intelligent, they didn't make a big deal about it. Like, I really do respect it, but it missed me completely. Maybe it's because I was so annoyed with the other two storylines immediately. But yeah, watching it the second time, it is obvious. Mike, it is so much more obvious than that old guy and the daughter thing.
100%. You're absolutely correct.
Obvious.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what? I do like the swings. Like we talk about on the storylines. You can either take a big swing and take a big chance, which we've seen them do. And like last week, it did not go well. But something like this, I can appreciate this. I don't think this is as big of a swing as last week.
Yeah, it's subtle.
But it's better because it isn't. It just worked.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't, it's so subtle, it doesn't really matter. So I thought it was great.
Selena's been through a bad marriage before. And Isaac's like, listen, when it's right, there are no sacrifices, which, obviously the three of us agree with that wholeheartedly. No problems there.
I put that on my email signature. Powerful stuff.
Debbie Allen calls Isaac beautiful. Isaac's biting his lip. I feel like he's never going to learn.
He's never going to learn.
Ugh. All right, here we start. There's a lot of jumping back and forth in this episode.
I know.
Didn't love it last night when I was doing the notes. Back at Alicia's cabin, Mason is getting cold feet because he thinks he's going to go have sex, and so he goes and asks if they can go have a drink or dance or something. Alicia is finally like, okay, I guess, and she puts her key back in the bag and they walk out.
So Mason went from cold feet to horny within an hour.
Yeah, he just needed to do a little dance.
Like he went from like cold feet, got to get a little jig on, maybe get a couple drinks in him, to like chasing a dog down the hallway, jumping in pools, and then trying to like he went from cold feet to horny within an hour.
Yeah, he's a slow starter. He had to warm up.
Slow starter, 100%.
He's like Greg the Hammer Valentine. He's got to go 15 minutes.
That's
before
right.
He had to rev that old engine up.
Yeah,
gotta break a sweat.
Stubing is making his rounds at the Fiesta. He's taking a real scenic walk, which again, Mike, to your point, a little bit of a time kill here.
Oh, and he's just firing off 2-finger salutes. Hey,
yeah.
Hey, how's your
tap on the shoulder?
Hey, how's your picante sauce? Boom, boom.
Viva las.
It's just terrible. Time killing.
Somehow he manages to spot Alan, who's glum, because Alan is doing the most comical, like,
So he sees the crazy moping overacting was amazing.
At the center of the room. It's the showcase table.
Middle table.
You know what though? Here's the thing. They were dating before and it didn't work. This guy, come on. You were fine when you came on this cruise. You were fine. You know, You weren't here to meet her. You were here to meet some ladies. Because you're Alan frickin' Harmon, all right? Well, pick your chin up off the floor, Alan.
Here's the thing.
Come on.
Here's the thing. You know, it's the thing where you break up with somebody, then you run into them, and they've they have a glow up, and they're doing great, and all that.
Or now
stuff,
she's
right?
a rich person.
Right. That's what, what if you break up with them and now they're rich?
Yeah, no glow up, just money. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he doesn't do a great job of kind of doing it subtly or calmly or nicely or smoothly or
like the meathead approach would be, I'm gonna go find some other girl and like make out with her in front of, I'm gonna make her jealous.
And I thought that was gonna happen
that way.
I thought that was gonna happen. I thought that's what Stubing told him to do.
Devious.
Alan admits he's been sticking his foot in his mouth a bunch about the money.
So dumb.
And she thinks that he's just interested in that cash. Meanwhile, Suzanne's kind of having the same conversation with Julie about how, would he love me for the money and maybe I should get rid of the money? And Julie's basically trying to get that money off of her.
Give me all your damn money for real.
Yeah. But we're getting both sides of this conversation, which is great because I needed both sides of this conversation.
Yeah, we needed more.
Yeah. Luckily, Stubing has a plan.
Not just a plan, Mike. A devious plan.
Yeah, maybe you should get a little devious is an odd thing for an honorable captain to say to his mechanic, but we've seen a lot of stuff today.
Let's get a little. That's what he said. Devious. Let's get a little devious.
Yeah, he said devious. He even might have said, "Let's get a lot devious" afterwards. Like he stepped it up.
That's a word that I don't know if I've heard said in maybe 10 plus years outside of watching this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, devious. It's almost like he's on like tying her to a railroad track or something. Like.
And looking right at the camera when he says it. It says the word devious. Let's get.
We'll get into the plan, but I don't know if it was devious or a plan.
This is the dumbest plan. It didn't make any sense.
I don't know that it is a plan.
I think it was all acting on Stubing's part.
He could have done nothing, and the same end result would have happened.
Yeah, exactly. And Julie made it sound like it was the greatest scheme of all time.
Just do. Give him we were prepare my Oscar. Like, come on.
Yeah. Alicia and Mason are dancing. Selena is dancing by herself. Doc and Gopher show up and see that Alicia is dancing by herself, so they tell Isaac to go see what's going on. But Isaac's got to work. He just opened that damn lounge. He's probably already late. He had to get changed, which sucks, by the way. You have to get changed in the middle of this whole thing.
Yeah, because they're like,
the scar.
He showed up and he's dressed for the Pirates Go and be like, whoa, what is this? What are you doing? You look like an owl. Come on, get dressed. Yeah, but it's not like he can leave. I mean, who's going to make the drinks for Isaac if he walks away?
Exactly. Who could possibly take over for Isaac, the bartender? Well, it turns out it could be the assistant purser and the doctor. Doc and Gopher offer to fill in. We get another Latin hustle reference from Gopher.
So funny, just throwing napkins at people.
Yep.
Just Bev nap for you. It's great.
So these two idiots are now watching the bar while Isaac goes to ask Debbie Allen if they want to dance. And like you said earlier, I mean, you're not going to have Debbie Allen in an episode and not have her dance. This was probably, and I don't know that I'm a qualified judge, this is probably the best dancing we've seen all year. Like,
well, they were dancing to like Hispanic. It wasn't like disco.
Thank God it wasn't disco.
But they danced to disco.
Exactly. They danced to disco, but it was Fiesta night.
But it was just like every other dancing we've seen has either been dated or like when the guy from Dance Fever was on and he was just kind of like
it was dance instructor from a couple guy from a couple weeks
Joey
ago. Yeah, Joey did.
Yeah, unfortunately we've seen a lot of dancing. There will not be a best dance category at the Stubbies.
We've seen enough.
There's too much dancing.
Enough of the
that was a runaway with Debbie Allen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I agree.
Meanwhile, Suzanne says she's going to apologize to Alan, but Steubing cuts her off because he's got a plan.
This is the devious plan. This is so dumb.
It's the most blatant case of fortune hunting I've ever seen across my years of the
70s.
He started talking like he was in Pirate Cool.
He
started talking like he was in the Pirate Cool.
Talking like he was like,
all these scallywags
Marco
out here
Polo
trying
or
to steal
something.
your treasure.
Blackbeard, Redbeard, come on.
Yeah. Oh God. So the scheme apparently also involves a quickie wedding in Mazatlan. Julie says she wishes there was something that she could do, and Steubing says you can remember me at Oscar time.
He is so friggin' proud of himself.
Yeah.
Yes. He's like, take that, Star magazine.
Pat on the back.
I can make a difference. What time is it? He doesn't want
But he wasn't done. He wasn't done.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, no, he wasn't done. He's such a little devil this episode.
God, here we go. Now we're just in the wheel. Back at Alicia's cabin. Mason is down to pound now.
Mason is completely naked at this point.
He's got his eyes.
No, not yet.
Yeah, we see way more Rayburn skin than I needed to in this episode. So, he does the old close your eyes, and of course gets a face full of cricket instead of a face full of Fanny Flag. So,
I got to tell you, anytime someone says close your eyes, I'm peeking 100% of the time. I promise you.
1,000%.
I don't care what. I don't care. Like, so like if somebody's like going to harm me, I'll see it. Or if it's something awesome, I'll see it a second ahead of time. No, I have no problem with either one. You sure you can't see anything? Oh, yeah. I can't see anything. Come on.
I'm not closing my eyes unless I'm asleep.
Never. Exactly. Even then, I got a
Ranger?
little eye
open. Are you going to murder me, weirdo? I just met
saying,
you.
Like, I think it's
Cricket
weird.
Cricket loves most people, but she does not love Mason. He calls it a night because the dog doesn't like him, and he wanted sex.
They closed that chapter of it also. Why the dog kept barking at him? Because she smelled his dog on him.
Oh, King.
Yes, she smelled King.
That means not showering. Come on, Mason.
That's why they did the whole thing at the end when she jumps out of her prison bag and then goes over there.
There you go.
Goes over there to King.
I think Cricket was looking for food. I haven't seen this. This dog has eaten 2 treats for the entirety.
Her mom ate one of them.
Nothing. Yeah, her mom ate one of them, which is needs salt. That Cricket's like, hey, that's all you brought. You're gonna eat one of mine. You don't see her like bringing a grab bag back. She didn't bring Swiss cheese back. She's
You're not going to feed me. I'm going to cock block all your weird boyfriends that you bring back here. So.
This is who Peter should have threw some fucking paint on.
All you gotta do is, and Cricket's like, all you gotta do is bring Cricket a sandwich, and Cricket will stop barking. Yeah. It's just that simple,
Just feed her.
Come on, feed me. Shit.
Doc and Gopher are dancing at the bar while Isaac and Selena are, and it's time for let's check out some of these. Let's check out some of these skills from these 2 bartenders here. Julie comes over and she's like, "Make me a grasshopper."
Grasshopper.
What color is that?
Pretty simple drink. 3 ingredients.
Yep. Cream de mint, cream de cacao, and heavy cream.
Our second heavy cream drink in the history of this podcast.
I can't tell if Julie was screwing around or not. I guess it's a good drink if you're working, like a minty kind of drink, but.
So is heavy cream drinks good for boats? Is that a ship drink?
You know what it was? I'm sorry, it wasn't heavy cream. It was egg whites. I'm sorry. It was
egg
whites the first time. I was thinking of that, and then the heavy cream this time.
Shockingly, these two have no idea how to make this. They know it's green.
They put the whole bottle of cream to me upside down.
They got a shaker out. They got a blender. It's a nightmare. It's a complete mess.
So I know this may be just looking too far into it, but they put the whole bottle of the green stuff in there. But when they poured it in a glass, it was blue.
Oh.
It made no sense at all.
I don't know. Yellow liquid.
It just was blue with it. Which is one of the things I noticed. Like, why is it blue now?
Maybe there was a little heavy cream in that glass.
It was Windex.
Who knows?
They were trying to kill Julie.
They did mention another drink.
A perfect Rob Roy.
I was like, well, I better look it up because I don't know. I'm sure you know.
We went through a Rob Roy phase, I want to say 2007, 2008.
What's in it?
Very brief, but I'm trying to remember what's in it.
It's a Manhattan, but it's made with scotch.
It's in a glass, basically. It's not in the fancy Manhattan glass. It's more like in a regular glass. So yeah, they're good. The ironic part is I don't like scotch, so the fact that I liked those, it was a good sipping drink for me because I wasn't gonna have a bunch of them.
Dan used to get Manhattans a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that, yeah. And they have those like marinated cherries that are all like
on the deck, Suzanne is apologizing to Alan, but don't forget she's in on the plan.
I guess.
So she says that they shouldn't waste any time anymore. They should get married tomorrow. And Alan says something about a bank. We go to commercial.
The oddest. What?
That would be good for my bank. I mean, that'd be good for me.
Yeah. I gotta say, this is probably as most like checked out on a storyline as I've been.
There's nothing
in a while.
It's
so you think that
storyline?
They melded it on that one because they had the James is in the wheelchair one in their back pocket.
That was it.
They didn't get in the episode with that one. So they
melded this one. Though,
the ace of spades in their back pocket. That's
without really thinking about it, there wasn't a lot of crossover in this episode, which always makes me think they didn't even know that they had these storylines in the same show, kind of thing, you know? So I think if it was something where they thought about it, maybe, have it heavy, have it light, but yeah.
They could have used that psychiatrist as a bridge.
So do they usually, because like that is true now I think about it, wasn't much crossover between the three different storylines, but is that usually a thing? Like it's usually some type of crossover? They're not even in the same scenes.
It depends. Sometimes you get
two. RJ from Oakland and the kid. There was one. Yeah.
Sometimes you get two. On occasions, you'll get three. Mike actually discovered this a while ago. Is sometimes they'll have one director for the whole episode, and that seems to really make the difference. Whereas some of them are like director for each storyline.
And a different writer for each storyline.
Yeah. Because it makes it better.
I think if it's in the context of the same cruise, and it's the same crew, unless every story involved a different portion of the crew, like you could spread it out physically. But since it's all, you know what I mean? I think they should because it just helps the overall continuity. Also, don't name somebody psychiatrist. That's all.
Yeah, because Steubing was the only one in the crew. Him and what's the girl's name?
Julie.
They were the only two in the storyline with the rich girl, poor little rich girl.
Yep.
And Isaac, Doc, and
Gopher
were the ones in the storyline with Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
And the dog when they were on their own.
The dog when it was just them two.
Yeah, until they ran around. Yeah.
Until the flea thing, Gopher was in the background of that. But nobody really was in there for him.
Next morning, Isaac's serving drinks on the deck. Selena shows up, thanks him for all the dancing. Doc and Gopher see this, and they congratulate themselves on their matchmaking. Decide they can open up a dating bureau.
There you go.
Mason runs into Alicia on the deck. She is reading poetry. Browning. No, usually I freckle. Hey-oh. Maxwell seems pretty pissed about the dog still. And turns out that Cricket's favorite treat is Swiss cheese. And so when Alicia goes back to feed the dog, imagine that, or at least she said she was going to, Mason grabs Julie and asks if she can get him some Swiss cheese, which I guess is just something you can do. You can just, is that true? I mean, you can just sit there and order somebody to get you.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're on a Lido deck, yes.
Poolside.
Because usually the Lido deck is the same level as all of the restaurants.
Gotcha.
So all
I guess
the food
it's
is
like those all inclusives.
inclusive.
Like I was sitting at the pool and somebody came over, and yeah. So
Well, every cruise is all inclusive food.
Yeah.
Food
Gotcha.
and juice.
Food and rye bread.
So you can get like apple juice, orange juice, and cranberry juice, and then all you can eat food. But you gotta like pay for sodas and alcohol and drinks, obviously.
Alan finds Suzanne lying at the poolside in a bikini, which is certainly not what you should be wearing on the day of your wedding.
No,
I thought I had something else to do.
Yeah.
I thought it was something else I was supposed to be doing today.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm not getting married.
Tricked you.
Tricks on you.
Tricked you dummy.
Yeah, what a scheme. What a scheme. The long and short of this then is that Alan's like, yeah, I was after your money. I'm a scumbag, but at least you know I'm a scumbag, as opposed to these other guys who you aren't sure are scumbags. So be with me.
And that was enlightening. That was enlightening to her. Enlightening.
Like, yeah. Don't hold out for somebody with morals or
This is my favorite stewing part.
Go ahead.
I don't even know what he said. It just is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't even have it. I blew through it so fast, but he
explained.
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself for trying to think.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Money.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And then he walks off.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like,
he's like, don't you? Come on, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you have literally nothing better.
He's getting a free tire rotation out of this.
He's just being a shitster with this whole. It just. Yeah.
Back to the only storyline we actually care about. Isaac is heading out to go parachuting.
Not parasailing. Big difference.
Not parasailing.
Sorry, it said parachuting. Sorry.
Yeah.
Keep stock videoing us with parasailing.
Yeah.
He asks Selena if she'd like to come along, and we didn't pay for that stock footage for no reason, so she says yes.
Somebody's coming.
He actually said, "I'm going to go hang on the clouds."
Yes, yeah. So he's got like 6 different events he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing the Sky Olympics.
Yeah, like, we don't. And his headpiece are like, we don't have the budget for that. We're just gonna do. We don't have the cash to get that.
This is where we already talked about it. This is where she mentions that she used to go skydiving and then kind of quiets up. And Isaac asks if we can just leave Jimmy on the boat. So,
which was very interesting choice of words. To say.
Somebody should have left Jimmy on the ground. Am I right? Like, don't let Jimmy skydive again. Jeez, because I thought it sounded to me like that was the cause of his accident.
They didn't. Yeah, I definitely thought that in the second rewatch.
And if so, there's no way she's doing that.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too.
Like, what?
If skydiving was how he got injured, why would she go?
No way in hell she's gonna. I'm gonna prove it to myself that.
Yeah.
What? She's a little crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Selena Moore is a little nuts.
That's a fact.
What if Jimmy just twisted his knee like Bill Bixby did in that one episode?
No, he's just selling the wheelchair.
Or he was dancing in his kitchen like that.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens.
Nonsense.
It happens to the best of
us. Mason shows up to Alicia's room with his cheese gift for Cricket.
Yeah,
thanks.
He's so generous with this piece of cheese about this big. Here you go. Eat up. Eat up, hungry dog. So crappy.
For some reason, Alicia has a loaf of pumpernickel bread in her cabin. So
no wheat bread, but she has pumpernickel.
Yeah. Later on that day,
and sherry. She brought all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, she's got a lot of stuff there. She's never gonna leave that room. Why did you come on the cruise? Plus, that dog is so small, anyone would watch that dog.
She came on just strictly for mixers for her bottle of sherry. That's why she's there.
Isaac and Selena come back after their long, long day of adventure. Went to the beach. They hit up a bar. They did the parachuting.
Big day.
Gopher and Doc think that Isaac is falling for her. And they're the ones who maybe tripped him. They don't seem to feel that bad.
He tripped over the chair. They tripped over the chair.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We'll get to that. Mason and Alicia are at dinner. And Mason is still trying to win over Cricket's affection. Starts talking about ordering him like food from the high-end menu. And Mike, to your point about Gene Rayburn's acting skills, he wants to get him some lobster from the Midnight Buffet.
Everything. You just pronounce it as if you were a robot. Yeah.
Yeah. He really leaned into buffet.
Houseman.
He was the original AI.
Just something's not right. This guy's straight up robot.
Alan and Suzanne are making goo eyes over each other's drinks. They're like doing the cheers move where I don't care.
Doesn't even matter.
Isaac and Selena are talking about another big night of dancing. And Isaac has what is probably the stupidest looking fall in the history of television.
It was really bad. It's worse than Gopher's falling over the suitcase last week twice. It was really bad.
Ted Lang's like, I'll go down, but like I'm not really going down. I'm just gonna like.
Well, I wonder if Selena was like, "Oh, I did it again." You know what I mean? Right when she fell, she's like, "Oops, another one." It's that skydiving all over again. The same thing happened before.
So Doc and Gopher come over and like they realize it's not really a big deal, so they're kind of making jokes. Will he live? Will he walk again? Things like that. Well, obviously this is a sensitive issue for her, but we didn't know it at the time.
Nobody knows.
So she runs out of there.
She's done.
Yep. Isaac thinks this is a great time to shoot a shot with Selena. So
yeah, good job. Good job, Ted.
She's sobbing.
No better woman to schmooze over than the one that's crying.
Let me wipe the tears off your face.
Isaac tells Selena that they probably did too much today and that she should go get some rest and they'll talk tomorrow. She's like, but Isaac is like, tomorrow. Which, okay,
smart.
we all love procrastination, but Isaac, it ain't going to be any better tomorrow, bub. Like,
no.
And you might have saved yourself some flour money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we go to commercial on that. We are just firing through these last couple acts. Act 4, Mason says the cruise is almost over, which is the best thing I've heard him say the entire show.
He didn't have a problem delivering that with emotion. He was ready to get off the boat too.
They are headed to Alicia's cabin for some business.
Yeah.
But, Cricket's not down with that. Alicia goes to slip into something.
She wants to get out because she's starving.
Alicia goes to slip into something more comfortable. And then Gene Rayburn takes his jacket off and he throws it on top of Cricket, which is like, come on, man. Like, that's a bad start. That's not how you
Actually,
win.
He hit his knee on the table, which woke Cricket up.
Right.
Why would he open the cabin door?
Hold on.
Put the do not disturb sign.
We're building to that.
Ugh.
So yeah. So there's a bunch of like Cricket's not thrilled, but whatever. But Gene Rayburn's like, all right, dog. Well, you know what? This dog's getting a bone. Let me put on this do not disturb sign on the door.
Cow.
And let me take, I don't know, big wide open door. Take about 10 seconds to get that thing on there.
Well, it's a thick sign. It's a thick sign. You can't just sneak that over and close it real quick.
Yeah, it was before the newer ones with the opening slit.
That's right.
You had to actually get it around a knob.
You needed an elevated sense of dexterity to make this thing
guy's
work.
got a dog. He knows that he should have gone outside.
He's so stupid.
Kept the door
open. The door
open.
wasn't wide enough for King to get out of it. It was only wide enough for
Well, maybe King's just more behaved, I guess.
Yeah, but who's going to disturb her? She already told the maid not to show up ever. Just close the door and lock the door. He just
long story short, shockingly, Cricket has gotten out, and the chase is on.
Oh no, your dog has escaped.
And the mom is ass naked with a robe on. And he has on a half a suit. So this is an interesting chase.
Yeah. Alan walks Suzanne back to her room, and then she invites him in. So at least somebody's getting
wrap that.
Now he's in his drawers. He's in his drawers.
Alicia and Mason are chasing Cricket through the hallway. And then Isaac runs into Doc and Gopher, and he's all giddy about Selena. He basically says, Jimmy is out, and I am in.
Yeah. Jimmy who?
Yep. And it's how you play the game.
That's right. That's how you do it.
Isaac is what some would call overconfident. Considering he has not gotten an actual answer. So, like, let's recap. Now, he did get a kiss from her.
Sure.
Which is wrong on Debbie Allen's part.
Sure.
But the last interactions he's had with her were he fell down, she freaked out, cried, cried some more, told you that something, but you blew her off, then she kissed you once and left.
But she said he was beautiful.
That's true.
He just, to me, just let sleeping dogs lie. Like, just leave it alone, dude. You know, just walk away.
Speaking of walking away, Isaac walks away, but Alicia and Mason pass him, and then they ask Gopher, have you seen my dog? Gopher's like, I have not. What? So Gopher has a pretty funny bit here where he's talking to himself, and he's like, I don't know why bring a dog. Why would you bring a dog on the thing? It's very clear. But then he realizes that he's going to get in trouble because of stewing, and so he starts to help the chase.
Oh, so this is when the other crew get into their storyline.
Interaction.
Yeah, they got into their storyline right there. Yeah.
I don't understand why they would. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. I apologize.
Yep. So now Julie and Stubing are walking down the hallway, trying to make that whole Alan and Suzanne thing make sense. And then there's Cricket. Julie catches on pretty quick. Which is great because Julie just immediately starts lying to Stubing, basically. She doesn't even know there's a dog on the thing. But then Stubing realizes it, and then the whole crew comes by. And so now there's like 19 people chasing this dog.
Mm-hmm.
Down the hallways, Benny Hill style. Just finally we start heading towards the pool. Man, I was shocked at the way this ended. I can't believe that the dog was running towards the pool, and Gene Rayburn, the funniest person to end up in the pool, ended up in the pool.
Wow. Was he in the pool? Because what I saw was we're distinctly different camera shots. One was from behind whoever was in the pool, not named Gene Rayburn. You could tell because you can't throw a robot in the pool. It will get electrocuted. He's handing the dog up. I was like, that's not Gene Rayburn. There's no way.
But I think he jumped in. I do think he jumped in.
Maybe.
Like, that was a straight-on shot, and he jumped feet first. You're right about the other stuff.
He's like, Rayburn does his own stunts. Back off. Show me the pool. Count me off. How funny would it be as Cricket, instead of going to the pool, jumped off the side of the ship? You know what I mean? Just to see Rayburn go off Tarzan style.
I mean, they found that dog quicker than they found Pepito.
Pepito's still missing. So,
long story short, Gene Rayburn has dove in the pool and captured Cricket, and all is well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not so brave considering the pool's like 3 feet deep.
Yeah, he's lucky he
didn't
like
dive into it. You
like
just
a
walk
hot
into
tub,
it.
actually.
Yeah.
They play like that volleyball in it. It's not a deep pool.
I've accidentally stepped in like larger bodies of water, like after a good rain.
There's nothing. They should have pool netted him out, with the skimmer.
The skimmer?
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Stibbing admits he can't really do anything, like we said. And so he tells Gopher to get some soup bones for Cricket, and also Gopher, you're in trouble because this dog got on board. But like Gopher's not manning every
Checking
door.
Yes.
Like so
we just said at the beginning of the episode that everybody just walks on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sneaking on.
Yeah. Mason and Alicia are smooching some more. And again, as we said earlier, Gene Rayburn is like in a robe. He's got a lot of chest showing.
Moaning, too. It's so weird.
Like maybe go back to your room and get dressed and then come by?
Or something.
Yeah. Cricket is still anti, though. Doesn't matter if you save my life, dude. Still not a fan. And Mason's finally like, all right, this ship has sailed.
This dog.
Yeah.
Another one of the dumb things that I noticed, and I notice always dumb things, that he had a green towel, but she was biting on a white towel. When they keep cutting to the dog to him, his towel, his thing is green, but the dog is biting on something white.
Wow. See, no consistency. We haven't had continuity in a while, but yeah,
this is weird stuff.
Suzanne tells Julie that she's totally in love with Alan. Julie has to explain Stubing's plan.
What?
So here's what I gathered based on Julie's explanation. Stubing saw that Suzanne was suspicious of Alan.
Right.
So if her suspicions were proven correct, she could then relax and not worry about it and open herself up to liking Alan again.
Yeah, but even though Alan's the guy that wants to take her money.
Yes.
That is a
plan.
That is not a plan.
That's
That's not a plan.
If he did nothing, the same thing would have happened. You know what I mean?
What about the dramatic pause though before she said, and it worked?
She's just. He had all her money within a week. She was broke and back at that restaurant begging for weekend shifts.
Waitressing on Wednesday.
Yep, Tuesday, Wednesday waitress.
With her $8,000 earrings.
That's it. Enjoy them. She only has one now.
All right. So Suzanne calls Alan and Stubing out on their crazy scheme, but apparently it worked, and all's well that ends well. Except if you're Isaac. Isaac shows up with flowers, and he shows up to the room, but Selena's not there. Florence is there, and Florence is like, Isaac, she has left. Also, I'm Florence, and this is the only time you will see me in the character.
Yeah. Thank you for my set card.
And she had more words than the chef.
Yeah.
Isaac then runs into Doc and Gopher at the exit, and they also tell him that she has left. So now he runs out to the deck, but she hasn't left. She's right there, just to say goodbye. Isaac knew it right away too.
Yeah, he knew.
He said, "This is goodbye."
Yeah, and then as we talked about, as they're kind of like saying their goodbye or whatever, you just hear Selena, and they swing over. And it's a man in a wheelchair. It might be the guy from Peaches and Peaches and Herb. Might be Barry White. It might be
Bill Russell for all we know. He had a little gray in his beard. Who knows?
He's in a wheelchair, as we said, and she runs right over Jimmy. They are clearly in love, which makes her actions on this boat strange at best. You think she's telling Jimmy that she made out with Isaac?
No.
Mike, I think you just dropped a good bar just now. You said he might be the guy from Peaches and Herb. Wasn't they something like reunited and it feels so good?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice one. I like what you did there.
But it's not Peaches and Herb that I'm thinking of. It's different people.
But that was a good falling too.
Yeah. But it's not who I'm thinking of. I can see it. It's something and something. The lead guy looks like the wheelchair dude, but
Ashford and Simpson.
No, Frankie Beverly and
Ashford and
Maze.
Simpson. Yeah.
Yes. Because Herb is a little guy.
Yeah, he's not a big dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Isaac, always the gentleman.
Always.
Hands the flowers off to some old lady and says, "These are beautiful flowers for a beautiful lady." She's like,
Eddie Murphy did that on Coming to America too. She would give the earrings to the random lady. No, at the end when she doesn't take his proposal, he gives the earrings to this random lady on the train.
Oh,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
$8,000 diamond earrings.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of that's tough. That's a tough way for Isaac to end.
Yeah.
It's a bittersweet journey being a cruise ship.
Yeah. Live to see another day.
Yeah.
Hopefully he learns his lesson this time. I'm sure he will.
I'm sure this will be it for him. He won't have to go
Act
through the same
5. Mason gives Alicia a sterling silver dog whistle, which he bought that at the gift shop. They have sterling silver dog whistles on the boat.
Even know if it works if you're a person.
Even though you can't bring dogs on the ship, they have dog whistles on the ship.
Right. Like, is this the most ridiculous thing we've seen on the boat gift shop? Like, I know we saw the baby crib. Like, that was pretty weird.
Breaking news, Scuttlebutt newspaper, breaking news in the middle of a cruise. They got the new edition of the newspaper in the middle of a cruise.
And they had one book.
They have one book, and they have 9 porno mags. Yeah. And some pearl earrings, don't forget. We saw pearl earrings and cologne.
Don't forget about those. Yeah.
Cologne in a Mrs. Butterworth jar. Anyway, they're saying their goodbyes. Parting is such sweet sorrow. But Cricket gets out again because this lady cannot keep her dog in check.
Stupid Cricket.
And the Cricket runs over to King, who is Mason's gigantic dog, and his tiny houseman. The King is bigger than the houseman, I think.
I think the houseman would be bigger than the dog. No. Yeah, house husband or houseman, whatever.
Anyway, because the dogs get along, Mason and Alicia can now get together, and they make out once again. And that's it. That's how we end this episode, with that image burned into your retina.
We're kissing. We're kissing.
Well, and they got the dog's attention. They're like, we want both of you to watch this. And then that's
it looked like King was like smacking Cricket around.
That houseman's really into it though.
What a weird.
Yeah.
Let's just pull the cord out ending. Done.
Well, maybe pulling the cord out was the problem for Jimmy.
Wow, bazinga.
Totals and a recap. King of the Mountain, best episode is currently episode 3, Captain Dave and the cruise ship Casanova. Worst episode was last week, the dream sequences and the return of Buddy Stanfield. I think this is the worst episode of the season.
Wait. You think this episode's worse than last week's episode?
I do. Now, I will say this. I came in a lot hotter before the rewatch, and the storyline made a little more sense. So I'm giving that off. But the other two storylines, the Alicia Mason one is a one-trick pony. I can deal with that. But it really nothing happens. And Gene Rayburn is a terrible actor, as you've pointed out many times. And then the other storyline is the worst storyline we've seen all season. Worst writing, worst acting. I'm sorry, Ameen, that master plan sucked.
I'll say this. This is what makes this one difficult to gauge, because I've seen the next episode, right? So if the next episode was like a Shakespearean effort, it would make this episode easier for me to say, yeah, this is the worst one. But Mike,
Don't see. This is why we don't watch.
This
the
is what I'm
episodes
saying.
ahead.
But it's hard for me to say which ones. I will say this. In my opinion, I don't think this is worse than last week's.
Okay. It's okay.
You know what? No, but
and
it's
I have
tough because for the
I
content,
have something.
Yeah.
Have homework for Mike.
Yeah.
And you, Mike and Mike. Since you watched the next episode, Taylor, you haven't, Robertson. The girl that's what's Gopher's friend, Gopher's neighbor. She reminds me of someone, and I'm quite sure that both of y'all can guess who it is.
Okay.
But Mike, you have to get back to me once you watch the episode.
All right.
And I'm quite sure you will know who it is.
All right. So, Mike, if you're saying, which I think you're saying without saying it, is that next week might also be in this conversation, then it's all semantics.
Yeah. It's skewing.
Yeah.
It's
that is a terrible way for me to go into watching this episode.
Well,
next episode.
I gotta go finish that episode now. I want to go finish that one.
Well,
you want to come on next week?
You would think that because that 45-minute one was really. We watched the one. It was really. It's just.
I didn't hate the last week as much as you did, which is the other problem too. Like I get it, but.
And maybe it's because I'd spent as much time with it as I did.
I do think when you host them, you have a stronger opinion than when you don't. I have learned that.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you, I can't say. I can,
you know what?
I can say that
we
this
will
is in my top
table it for
3.
next week.
We'll table it.
We'll table it for next week, and we will discuss the last 3 episodes. But the fact that we have to discuss those in a row,
that's
bad.
Not a good sign.
That's a bad. How many episodes in the season? Like 24,
25 this season. Yeah.
So they must be building up for a good season finale.
That's what we said last year too.
21, 2, and 3 are like
that's what we said.
Or they're building down like they did last year.
Yeah. Well, here's my concern. Last year's best episode was episode 5. This year's best episode was episode 3. So they're going the wrong way.
They start at the beginning and have a banger.
We're trending in the wrong direction. Yeah.
They coast the rest of the season. Wow.
All right. Best performance of the week. Captain of the week. Mike, who was the best this week?
I was a big fan of Gopher this week. I love what he was doing in the background. I love the whole throwing bev naps at people, the making of the grasshopper. My favorite, though, is when he was talking like a lawyer to Doc in that one scene.
When he was talking about the business plan?
Yeah. He's talking about how lawyers talked. I just thought he was great. And maybe it's he was so much better this episode than last episode.
Yeah. Always a reaction.
This is the Gopher that I'm comfortable with. So I went with Gopher. You?
Ameen, best of the week?
Going with the cat. Stoops. I'm going with Stoops.
You're going with Stubing?
Stoops. Master plan.
I'm going
to
look for him in the Oscars.
I tell you where you're going Stubbies. He's not winning that.
Best plan of the season will not be that one.
Going with the captain.
I am going with Isaac. We say it a lot. Whenever they give him something to do, he's always good at it. And it's like he's singing, he's dancing, he's doing really comedy, he's doing romance, he's doing like all this stuff. And then next week, or another, since you guys have seen it, in a different episode, he won't do anything.
Yeah, he won't do anything.
So,
but
he actually does nothing in that episode, actually.
There you go. Worst of the week.
Go for episode.
I mean, I think I kind of made it pretty obvious throughout the episode what I thought of Gene Rayburn's acting.
The robot.
I would say, walk the plank, Gene Rayburn. Just insert funny sound effect of Gene Rayburn and a robot walking the plank. No, he's terrible. He's terrible.
I would be surprised if a robot can't go in the pool is not the title of the episode you're listening to right now. I mean, funny. Worst of the week?
Cricket.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of a cock blocker. She's not.
There you
she's
go.
Not a fan of. She's a hater.
Man.
She's a hater.
I have Alan and Susanna and Stubing's plan. That's worst of the week. So.
Yeah.
So a nice disagreement for all of us this week. I think we all watched it in different ways.
I can appreciate that.
That's totals and a recap for this week.
Awesome. Let's check the old mailbag, Mike. No mail this week. Interesting. Don't forget, you can email us at the Loveboat Project at gmail.com. Anything to plug this week, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely hammered on the Hitting Season Patreon. We're back every week, generally on Wednesdays. Somehow baseball season is coming up, even though the Super Bowl just happened last night and things went in a certain way.
Go Birds.
But yeah, after the parade, there'll be baseball season. So that's what we're doing on the Hitting Season. Absolutely hammered.
Wonderful. You can find us everywhere you find your audio podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Amazon Music, Podchaser, Player FM, and my favorite, Deezer. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a review. You can check out our video podcast on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Look for weekly reels and updates. I did look ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I know you both did.
We both did. So if I had to give you a brief tease, we welcome Minnie Pearl and Steubing's toupee to the boat. So, yeah.
Plus at least one character that apparently we both know in real life. So,
yeah. It's gonna be.
Taylor, do you know who I'm talking? Taylor, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100%.
All right. I'll watch it.
Will get it immediately. Robinson will
yeah, I'll watch it and I'll text you. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that is. But great. I love going into these knowing it sucks. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it didn't.
This happened last year.
The next episode didn't suck to me. I was tuned in until I realized I was watching the wrong episode. Like, I was locked in.
Yeah, but you stopped in the middle, like it's
because I realized, and it was time constraints too. Because I would have finished it, so I was watching it, and it was 5:30, and I knew I had to go get my MRI at 6:45. So I'm like, I gotta get the real episode in before I gotta leave out.
Right.
Because coming back, I didn't know how long it would take me to get that done, and I knew I had to be back by a certain time to get on here.
You know what? Write down the email address. You can send us your notes first. You can be in the mailbag.
I will. All
right. Well, that's it for what was a very interesting episode, I guess. Thanks to Ameen for joining us yet again. We'll see you in season 3.
Go.
For the rest of you, we'll see you back here for what apparently is a real banger, episode 46. But until then, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Ameen. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And we will talk to you next time.
Peace.